what's going on? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, this is Robert Anton. It's our Anton, and I just woke up this morning to 200,000, not 200,000. Oh my God, 100,000 views on my last dance video doing Brazilian dance. And I just want to come on and say thank you, thank you. I want to thank, I want to thank you. I want to thank, I want to thank you. Y'all see my clothes in the background? Those are my like sweaters and outdoor jackets and coats and stuff like that. And my hair is done. What kind of? I'm about ready to take this down. We start the season. Y'all know I'm a singer songwriter, actor, author. My day job is the wedding singer. So my season starts this weekend, and I am so happy. This coming weekend, not Memorial Day weekend, but next week. And I'm so happy. Happy Memorial Day. I'm so happy. Cause y'all know I need to get some coins coming up in this house. You know what I'm saying? Let me look and make sure. Let me make sure that I am online here. Cause see, I don't like to be on here it's only been a minute now, so that's good. But I don't like to be on here for like 5, 10, 15 minutes and then ain't nobody in here because it's private or something like that. And it does that to me. And I know I be pushing it on public and it'll end up being private. No, it says live. It says live. It says live. Just a little bit of a delay. But that's all good and fine. Let me go back. Do I have anything to drink? Oh yeah. Mm. I have a little tea. I don't know. I don't forget what kind of tea this is. I think it's Rooibos with something else. But I went and I bought a few different teas the other day because I love to have me a morning tea. And I had breakfast. What time is it? What time is it? It's 3:52. I had breakfast about 20 minutes ago. Cause I was up late last night till like 3, 4 in the morning, and the night before, and the night before. But anyway, so I got up. I got up this morning or this afternoon at like 2 something, 3 o'clock, and so I was checking my social media and everything like that, and I got excited. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Who that is? Woo Jin Jung. How you doing? I hope I said that right. So I got up and I was checking my social medias and stuff like that. And I noticed I had a bunch of comments on this channel. And I'm like, okay, so what's going on? Because every time I have a bunch of comments on like one of my videos, I know that it's gotten a good amount of views. Hello, how are you? Happy Memorial Day if you're in the US. So I check. Sure enough, 100,000 views. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I posted this probably 2 weeks ago. I posted about 2 weeks ago and I had thought nothing else about it. And listen, I'm posting on social media. I just am not posting as often as I used to. So I have like 8 different social media pages or channels. I have 4 here on YouTube. I have 2 on TikTok plus my Instagram and my Facebook. So that's 8. So I'm posting mostly right now on TikTok and my main page, Robert Anton NYC, here on YouTube. But if I'm doing a dance or if I'm doing a cover song, I come over here and post those here. My main channel, I post mostly comedy stuff, shorts. If I'm doing original song, sometime I'll post a cover over there, especially if I'm playing it. If I'm doing like karaoke, I'll usually do it over here. But if I'm playing it on piano, my keyboard, then I'll usually post it over there. Um, yeah, so I am posting. I'm just not posting as often as I used to post. Plus, I don't know. It's just been like you post and you post and you post and you post and you're expecting something to happen, and a lot of times nothing happens. Hey, hello, bro. What's going on? How you doing? Y'all know I'm blind, right? I really am. I mean, I don't have any problem generally, but when it comes to reading them small little things, I show enough am black from Nigeria. Okay, that's what I love about the internet. What's going on, Nigeria in the house? Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. If you come in and you want to just thumb it up a little bit, I'm not gonna be in here that long. I just came in here to say thank you, thank you, thank you. This is gonna be live for however long. I appreciate you, and I don't know. I might actually do another dance today. I'm supposed to be going to a little cookout, little barbecue, but I don't know what time they're gonna start. And I know whatever time they're gonna start, it's gonna start later than they say they're gonna start. You know how that goes, right? So I ain't worried about getting there till about 7 o'clock or something like that. Just as it's starting to get dark outside. Cause they say be here at 3. People won't start showing up until about 6 o'clock. And that does I don't know. I'm a Virgo. I am very much on time. I very much keep, things going along pretty, steadily, pretty easily. And so I don't be liking that when people show up 5 million hours late. And then I be sitting there, and even when I show up an hour and a half late, I still end up being the first one. The last party I went to was a card party. I play spades, bid whist, bridge. So a friend of mine gave a party in Brooklyn about 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. But anyway, and I showed up, I was about an hour and a half late. And I wasn't the first one there. I was the third one there. But, the host and his friend who was supposed to be DJing the party was there, and then a friend that was there from out of town. So I was still basically the first person, the first guest that walked in the door. As you are, my brother. Hey, what's going? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, okay. But it is what it is. At least when you get in there early, you get to meet everybody as they come in. You can set out your own little spot. You know what I'm saying? You can put your drinks or whatever, whatever over on your little spot. So people don't take it or not. Not like, just get yourself comfortable. Greetings from Russia. Hey, Russia. We're what the W stream, brother. Um, Russia in the house. Hey, who's in the house? There's Russia in the house and Nigeria in the house. New York is in the house. Who else is in the house? Who's in the house? Tell me who's in the house. I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now these things are going by so fast, they're disappearing so quickly. There we go. Mike Nicolin. Nicolin? Is it Nicolin? Who's in New York? I'm in New York, but I'm in New York City. Where you from, New York? Frog 3X. I'm in the city at Uptown Manhattan, Manhattan. Somebody on a video, and let me tell you, this was on TikTok, and this guy made a video about Fort Tryon Park, right? And he was saying, it's in Upper Manhattan, and somebody tried to say, oh, that's the Bronx. That's the Bronx. It's like people just make comments about stuff they don't have no idea. Talk about they're gonna be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I live here in Washington Heights. I hang out in friggin' Fort Tryon Park when I want to go for a little walk. If I want to go for a walk in a nice big park, like a hike, I usually say a hike. Because there's a little park over by my house. I can go just, chill. People are playing basketball. They got a little kids thing. Russian good people. Russians are good people, at least the ones that I know. Um, so they've got stuff going on over there. But the difference about Fort Tryon Park is like it's like a woodland. Like once you go into that park, it is miles of trees and hills and steps and blah 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 and other. You could get lost up in there. So when I want to go for a hike, I go there. But I also have a friend of mine that I usually go to every week on Friday night to play cards, and he's right up against the park. So, usually sometime we'll go for a walk or something like that. Come to me. Where I'll come to you where? we'll we'll go for a park when it's for a walk in the park when it's nice outside or something like that. And they have festivals and stuff. So yeah. But anyway, somebody would say, "Oh, well, it's not in it." I'm like, I live here. What are you talking about? Like, this is not the Bronx. This is Manhattan. The Bronx is way up above us. I forget where the Bronx starts on this side of the sphere. But I know there is 210th, 212th Street is still Manhattan. Then you have to go over a bridge. Where you from? I'm from New York. Then you have to go over a bridge and you're in the Bronx. Look, people are crazy though. Like they just speak out of the side of their neck and don't know what they're talking about. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I live here. Don't tell me like what you know what I'm saying? I live on Lake Baikal. What's that? Is that on Long Island? That's someplace I haven't heard of. Jews are in New York. One would say they run New York. I don't know. People say that, but you know what? There's so many from Turkey. Hey, Turkey, Turkey's in the house. Hey, come on now. But like New York is such a melting pot of people from all over the world. And you can go to like say if I mean I've traveled a lot, right? So I've been all over the world. I made it to 5 continents, something like 30 countries or more. Um, but like if I want to go and experience a certain kind of it's the largest lake in the world. Okay, if I want to go and experience some kind of ethnicity in New York, I can do that. You know, we've got 3 Chinatowns, we've got Italian neighborhoods, we've got Pakistani neighborhoods, we've got, I mean, anything you can think of, there's a neighborhood in New York City that has people who are immigrants from, you know, that country and they built their little slice of New York to kind of remind them of where they're from. So they have their stores, they have their restaurants, you know, and their baths, the Turkish baths, or, you know, they have all those kinds of things. And you can go to that neighborhood and just hang out and soak in their culture and meet people from there if you know, want to go to, you know, certain kinds of events and stuff like that. And yeah. So New York is like that. I don't think anybody runs New York. I think New York is run, you know, by the masses pretty much. And thank God for Mayor Mandami now. The masses are really getting their comeuppance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he is making sure folks is paying their bills. He's making sure the millionaires pay up on these fees and stuff that they're supposed to pay. He's getting the landlords in order. He's making sure people's apartments are being fixed. I am loving it. It is true. Thank you very much. It is true. And not only it is in the news, but you see it on the streets. I made a video I haven't posted of because people are talking about, oh, how can he do all these what was it? The potholes. How can he do all these potholes in New York? How can you do that many potholes in 100 days or something like that? And it's like walking down my streets in my neighborhoods, I can see that the streets have been paved, repaved, newly paved. You know, and I was just walking, probably because I had a discussion online with someone talking about the potholes or whatever. And I happened to see that, you know, I walked past a street that had, you know, just been newly paved. And I'm like, see, this is what's going on. People like to spread propaganda and it's coming from the top. You know, if you're from the United States, it's coming from the top. Propaganda is coming from the very top and it just gets on my nerves. But you know what? You can't tell people nothing. So it's almost like it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? People who don't live here constantly giving their 2 cents on what's happening here. Have you seen both of you? What did that mean? What did that mean? Have I seen both of me? You mean me and my twin? That what you talking about? Me and my twin? No, brother, it's not like that. Yeah, that's it's I do believe it's like that. I believe people just like to argue about stuff and like to put their 2 cents in where they don't even know what they're talking about. How somebody and Let me tell you one thing for true. There's been a study done that 64% of the people that you talk to, that you're arguing with on social media are bots. They're trolls. You know what I'm saying? They're so 64%. Can you imagine that? That means only 30% of the people that you're talking to online are real people. So a lot of these bots and these trolls and stuff like they are put up. Remember that? Oh, if you saw Superman, was it Superman? Yes, if you saw Superman and the Lex Luthor monkeys, that was an exact reference of what's happening here online. The Lex Luthor monkeys are all over the place, and they're not real people. You know, they're just there to stir up controversy, and a lot of times on certain sites, they're there to keep you on the site as long as possible. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're on Twitter arguing with somebody, you know, when they keep texting you, you keep texting back. They keep texting you, keep texting back. That's keeping you on the site, which is money for that site, you know? So you got to take everything on here with a grain of salt. Unless you see somebody's face live, then you know it's a real person. We love Afro Americans too. Me too. I love me. I love me some Afro Americans too. I would say I love all people, but I can't say that. I can say that the majority of people that I have met in my travels and in my lifetime are good people. Now, of course, there are bad people, or there are people who have like had a bad time or something like that, and like they end up acting out because of that. You know, a lot of times when and I've done this for a long time on social media, when somebody is really being mean and nasty to me, a lot of times I'll engage with them. I'll try to joke with them, you know, and be like, "What's the matter? What happened?" Because I've gotten people like, oh man, I just had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? And they just want to unload. You know what I'm saying? You're smiling beautifully. Thank you so much. There's nothing like smiling and laughter. I use laughter and comedy just as kind of like a shield and sword for myself in my life as well as when people are, you know, trying to come at me, trying to get at me, trying to get me upset and stuff like that. I'd be like, listen, what you doing? Like, you try to get under my skin, right? Okay, well, you know, if you get under here, you better be ready. You better be ready if you get under the skin, you know, because I'm coming for you. Because reading is what? Fundamental. Um, yeah, but anyway, I just came on here. I ain't been on here so long. Oh my goodness. I should feel bad. You know what I'm saying? How do you like the Russian language? I do not know the Russian language, but let me tell you, and this is a true story. I went to college for music, right? So we had to study what's called the International Phonetics Alphabet, which allows you to sing in different languages without actually speaking the language. So I'm here in New York and I was auditioning for shows and stuff like that. You know, I was working, blah, blah, and the other. I got hired for this show to open a Russian nightclub called the Cafe Versailles in Brighton Beach in New York City. This was in the 90s. So I'm aging myself in the 90s. And the script was in Russian. I think most of the songs may have been in English, but the script was in Russian because me and a female were the hosts for the show. So all of our dialogue was in Russian, and we had to learn, you know, the language, or not the language, but you know, just the script, and we learned it phonetically and you know, worked on things where we had problems. I was given a tape of someone from St. Petersburg speaking the whole script that I could listen to and you know pick up their nuances and stuff like that. So when we were in rehearsal, when we finally got to the club to rehearse, the um the wife of the man who owned the place, she was watching and you know listening in and stuff like that. And she just started laughing, laughing, laughing. And we're like, what are we doing something wrong or what's going on? She's laughing. And then she's like, no, no, no. You know, just keep going, keep going. And so then she's calling people over. Listen to this. People are working, you know, because they're still, you know, putting this place together, you know, renovating it and everything like that. She's calling people over and then we're doing the script or whatever and all that. And she's just laughing and they're going back and forth and they're going back and forth. And I'm like, We like, what's going on? She looked at me and she said, you sound like you're from St. Petersburg. So I picked up the guy's not only the script and the words, but I picked up his accent almost perfectly as far as she was concerned. So that made me very happy. And when we were actually doing the show, people would be like Snoop Dogg. No, I'm not Snoop Dogg, but that's my cousin. When we were actually doing the show, people would call me over, because afterwards people want to have drinks with you and that I said the other, especially a black man doing Russian. Of course, they were coming over to talk to me. I'm like, I don't speak. No, no, I don't speak Russian. Oh, but you're so good. You sound just so good. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. They wanted to buy cocktails and stuff like that. Of course, I was all there. Let's do a shot. Let's do some shots. But yeah, so that's my Russian story. Snoop the Great. Okay. I loved him on The Voice as a coach. Did you watch him on The Voice? I got to plug in my light. Snoop Dogg. Now, I liked watching him on The Voice because you really got to know what type of person he is, and he seems to be such a cool, like feeling individual. My man would be crying about stuff like that, and a lot of folks think that it's not grown up for a man to cry and this, that, and the other. And homeboy would just be there with his tits. This a thug, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, where are you? I am at home. This is a thug. Death Row Records, that old Death Row Records. And, he up here crying on friggin' national television. That does a lot. Um, just to show people that it's okay. We all get overwhelmed with emotions sometimes. And sometimes it's due to sadness, but a lot of times, let me tell you, most of the times when I'm crying, come Islam, Turkey. I would love to come to Turkey. Yeah, send me an invitation. Help me get my visa. Let me tell you, I wouldn't mind leaving here for a little while, at least to 2009. I mean, 2029. Find me. What's that? Find me what? This is going fast. But most of the time when I'm crying, most of the times when I cry, it's usually because I've been laughing so hard that I start getting tears. Right? I can't remember the last time I cried because something bad happened. Maybe when my brother died, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. That might be the last time. But usually when I cry, it's because I'm laughing so hard that I just but the tears just start coming out, and I just start crying. Um, but yeah, that's the good cry. That's the cry that makes you feel it's like you're washing. It's like the water's just washing away everything that's bad in your life. You know what I'm saying? Everything that needs to get taken care of. All those unresolved issues and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, I get philosophical sometimes. Come to Russia. Well, let me tell you what. Russia, I don't know. I don't know. Russia might be a little difficult because I know it's hard for us folks here in America, but I've heard that it's especially hard for us in Russia. Now, I know y'all got black folks over there. And I know y'all have university students who study and stuff like that. And I actually know a singer who I've worked with quite often. She has a jazz band or whatever, and she used to do a yearly thing in Russia, yearly performance. Yeah, they're in war right now, also, so of course that would not be a time to go. But she didn't have a lot of problems. From what she said, you will be respected there. Why would they respect me? Little old me, unless I was performing and I was on stage and stuff. Now, if I went with a show, that'd be something different. But just going by myself, I don't know. But I know a friend of mine who used to live here in New York for a while. He actually lives in Turkey, I think. He did live in Turkey. But he's from Italy. But this is what I'm saying. Like New York is so international. He's from Italy. He was here for at least 7, 8 years. There is no war in Russia. Don't say there ain't no war in Russia. Russia just bombed Ukraine like crazy, and you can't. And Ukraine is definitely bombing them back. So don't there is definitely war there. I don't know what you over there. What's going? What you saying? What you are you reading the news? Are you reading or watching the news? What's going on? You don't know what's going on in the world these days. It was just yesterday, the day before, that Russia bombed. Sent what is it? What are them missiles called? They could carry a warhead. No, I forget. I forget what it's called. They are wrong. No, they're not wrong. Okay, so it's time for me to go. I really appreciate y'all so much. But again, thank you for 100,000 views. I think it's up to like 101, 102 now. I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna figure out what my next dance is gonna be, or if I'm gonna sing or something like that. Um, Either today or tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday. I'm hedging now, right? I really should do something today, but I don't know. We gonna see. We gonna see, cause I'm supposed to be going, to a little set or whatever, and I don't know. I don't know. I want to get out of the house and have me some barbecue, cause they're gonna be barbecuing, and whatever. Take me a little bottle of wine over there. We gonna play some cards and have a good old time with some friends. Green Q asked you for money. Oh, can you spare a dime, brother? I can't spare it right now, but maybe ask me in 3 weeks, because by then I should have a check from my job, from my gigs. I should have a check coming in from my singing. Okay, so I'm about to go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me a little while. Make sure to go back and say hello on one of the videos and say I was in the chat. And I will see you hopefully soon. Peace. I'm out. Happy Memorial Day once again. Now, how do I cut this thing off?